Hello, this is a short video to explain how to register for a COVID lateral flow test, which you will be taking in school when you attend St John Fisher, either on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 8th, the 9th and the 10th, and also when you return to school full-time after that as well. When you attend school, you'll attend the Ordnance Street site and you'll enter through the main gates at the front of the school, through past the car park, and you'll walk up the stairs towards the canteen. And when you arrive at the canteen, you'll be greeted by a member of staff, and that member of staff will give you two things. They will give you a COVID registration card and also a set of 3 barcodes, and you should be able to see them on the screen in front of you. The first thing you do when you get this registration card is to take one of your barcodes, peel off just one of them, and place it over the area that says stick barcode here. You'll also enter your name in this slot here, and for the purposes of this entire video, I'm going to be using the name Joe Blogs, just so that we're consistent. So I'll put in Joe Blogs there. There's one more thing you'll do at this point as well. You'll now have a little space above your 2 barcodes where there's nothing written. And what we would like you to do in that space is to put your St John Fisher username in that space. So for example, for Joe Blogs, it'll be something along the lines of blogsj.887. You know what your usernames are, but it's going to be something along those lines. We're providing pens to make sure that that actually gets clearly written onto that barcode slip. These barcodes will later be handed to a member of staff so that they can actually link that to your test. Once you've done those 2 steps, you're then going to sit down at a computer, which will be provided for you, and the computer will be open already to a page that looks like this. It says register a coronavirus test. And what I'm going to do now is walk you through that process for how you register the coronavirus test. Start by clicking start now, and you'll be registering the test for yourself. You're not going to sign in or create an account, but what you're going to do is just continue without an account for this registration. So we'll click that and click continue. And then you'll be prompted to enter your barcode reference. Now, while you're in school, you'll be able to click on scan barcode, and a screen like this will come up, and that will access the small webcam that's built into those computers at the top of the screens. You will then be able to hold up your barcode to the webcam like this, and it will automatically register it. I can't show you that process now, I'm afraid, because I'm already using my webcam to create this video. So I'm going to do it the alternative way, which you can still use this method as well. And we're going to type in our barcode manually. So you'll see that it's asking for a barcode reference. If I just go back to our camera very quickly, we can also see that we've got a barcode reference there. So we're simply going to be taking that barcode reference and typing it into the computer. So we'll do LFN 342 05200. And then we just have to do it one more time down the bottom there, LFN 342 05200. If you've been able to scan your barcode using the webcam, that will automatically be entered in for you, and you can just click continue. Now this is important. Each site where you do testing has a test site ID, and they're not necessarily logical in terms of link to the name of the site where you're doing it. So the test site for St John Fisher is SZZM. You click continue after entering SZZM, and it will come up with St John Fisher Catholic Comprehensive School, so that's correct, and you're going to click I use this test site. The next question is about whether you're asked to take part in daily contact testing. For all of you students who are coming in as indicated on the letter, the answer to this will be no. This will only be if you've come into close contact with somebody and you're asked to take a coronavirus test every single day, but that is not the case. This is what's called an asymptomatic test, so your answer to this question will be no. They will then ask you, well, when are you taking your test? And the answer here is going to always be today. You'll click the today button, Obviously, those dates will change depending on when you fill this form in. And then you need to put the hour that you're testing it. So it doesn't have to be down to the minute. So say, for example, you've come into school at 10 o'clock, then you will simply put in here 10, select AM, and you'll be doing it between the hours of 10 and 11, and that's absolutely fine. You'll then put your name in. And a birth date as well. So we'll say our birth date is going to be the 10th of March, and we'll call it 2003. We'll go for your gender, either male or female. And then you need to select your ethnic group. Now, I'll do this on the basis of Joe Bloggs is sort of a bit like me, so I will choose white and then continue to British. But obviously you would select the option most appropriate to you. And now as a student, it says, well, do you travel to nursery, work, or place of education? So for a student, you'd say, yes, I go to nursery, school, college, or university. I go to secondary school. And here we just put in the name of the school. So I've chosen St. John Fisher School, and the town is clearly Chatham. Those answers will be the same for you. This is about whether you have any current coronavirus symptoms. Now, if you have actually attended school and you've left the house, then you should not be doing that if you do have coronavirus symptoms, which include a temperature, a cough, or a change to your sense of taste or smell. So if you're attending school, then the answer to this question should be no. If that is not true and you do have symptoms, you need to tell a member of staff immediately. And this is about whether you've travelled outside the UK within the last 14 days. I would imagine for the vast majority of people that's no, but if you have done, then you would click yes there. Finally, not finally, but have you had a coronavirus vaccine? Again, for students, I think the majority of people it will be a no, but if that is not the case, then you've got options to select yes with either 1 dose or 2 doses. And finally, if you don't normally live in the UK, select the country where you're staying. Well, I would imagine that you would normally live in the UK, so we will select England there. Okay, and then we will enter the first line of our address. So I'm going to imagine that Joe Bloggs actually lives on Ordnance Street, so I'm going to put in 45 Ordnance Street, and then a postcode. This has got to be your postcode, so please come to school knowing your postcode and knowing that first line of your address. Do you have an email address? At this point, we'll say yes, and we'll put in your email address as your school email address. So then it'll, again, will be something that looks a bit like this. We'll use your St. John Fisher email address. You could also use a personal email address here as well, if you preferred. This is the email address they will send the test results to. And then mobile phone number, and this is probably the most important one because this is how most people receive their test results as a little text message. So you need to make sure you're putting in your correct mobile phone number there. So at this stage, again, I think we'll just make up a mobile phone number. I'm just going to stop sharing for a second and reshare. So I've got to get the number of numbers correct here, but we'll just put in an example one. So we'll say 07 333 444 555. Obviously, you'll be entering your mobile phone number there. In terms of the landline telephone number, I think when staff have been doing this, the vast majority of people haven't actually indicated anything here. It's not that important. So if you do have a landline telephone number, you can say yes, but otherwise I'll just click no, and it will still go to your mobile and your email address. And then it asks you about your NHS number. You don't need to know your NHS number. There's no expectation of that, and it's not a big deal if you don't. So again, for this question, I'm just going to click no, I don't, and continue. And finally, it will prompt you to check your answers. It summarizes all your answers there. You can skim through them. And finally, when you click Save and Continue, you'll often be prompted for a security check, just to check that this is a real submission. So I've clicked that. I'm not a robot. Sometimes you have to find pictures of traffic lights and things like that, but whatever you have to do there, just complete that check and Save and Continue, and your registration is confirmed. What that means is that when you then go forward with your testing and you pass these barcodes over to the first person who'll be providing you with a swab and telling you exactly how to do that, what will happen is that barcode will be associated with you. So once we receive your test result and enter it on the computer, you'll be automatically notified by email and by text message of what that result is. So that is the registration process in a nutshell. You will be supported through this. There'll be staff members helping you out at the same time. And then after that, it's simply on to a very, very quick swab test, and you'll be able to go home and get the test result in around 30 minutes. I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much.